Hey everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by Skindred titled Smile. Now I was actually looking forward to this album because we haven't had anything from this Welsh reggae metal, new metal, falling under these categories, this band, since 2018's Big Tings. And I remember the album being a pretty good, solid listen, but I haven't really dabbled in as much Skindred. What I remember from Shark Bites and Dog Fights, it was a pretty strong album that definitely took some of the sounds we would hear from l.o.v.e, which was the lead singer Benji's first band. It was kind of a thing he did before Skindred, which was like the side project that ended up being the main project. And because of l.o.v.e, it kind of has a little bit of that sound, especially in the earlier points, but I felt around that point Skindred were really finding their footing. And since then we've been having some very eccentric, very versatile songs that play a lot with different genres like EDM and, well, reggae. We also get other notions of ska as well, so there's a lot, and even dance makes an appearance as well. You can definitely say there's some of that, but this album I think is the whole package for a very versatile Skindred album. I feel every single song here is already so unique compared to each other. They definitely fit under that Skindred brand, but they have elements that make it just pop out nicely. You can go from a song like Our Religion, which is a great opener. It definitely builds up with some very fun little vocal pattern that just kind of shifts it and builds up the guitars and instrumentation. It's one of the heavier, louder songs, and it's great. I love the lyrics, Dread and the Dread. It definitely reminds me of Skindred because that's the band name, but Our Religion is just, it's a great, fantastic opener, and it is one of the ones that just blew me out of the water straight away. It's a really interesting start, and we're more familiar with Gimme That Boom and Set Phasers. These were the first two singles of this record, and they've always been just a lot of fun since then and to now. Gimme That Boom is definitely the most catchy one, purely just because it's, well, the lead single, and its refrain is literally gimme that boom, 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 which it kind of has a click, click, boom sort of inspiration to by that big song by Saliva. But the thing is, this song isn't cringe, or it wasn't really weak in my opinion. Gimme That Boom may not be the strongest one on the album, but it is really fun, and it's definitely got that Skindred energy. And the fact that this is the lead single we get after around 5 years, it's nice just to have some fun and just have a beat track like this. Set Phasers is great, and I think out of the two singles, this one just feels more unique. I just love the chorus on this one, where it's like Set Phasers to on. It's really fun, and I just think the synths and the overall instrumentation has that little bit of electronic that blends in well with this very experimented hard rock sound that they're going for. Life That's Free is fantastic, and one thing I've definitely noticed is that their chorus structures are really good. They have got some really punchy hooks, and Life That's Free has definitely got one of them, making it probably one of the most standout choruses on this record. But it's not the best, but I still think instrumentally it's got some great ideas, and it continues the newer passage of songs in a brilliant way. Followed by that we have If I Could, which was the third single, and this one is great. It kind of starts off with a more slower sort of passage. The way that it's kind of sung, it just gives you a little bit of a moodier vibe, but then you hear those classic guitars, and the way that they sort of use that chorus to kind of give it a slower feel to it makes If I Could just stand out even more. This is around the point where Skindred aren't afraid to just play with the structure as much as they want and mold it around into their own fun way. And Love Smile Please is absolutely one of those examples. This one has, I'd probably say, no rock to it, but it's just filled with absolute delight. It just reminds me of something from maybe James Brown or Quincy Jones, just something a bit more upbeat. Kind of has this like this little fanfare along with these pianos. It just kind of goes for something grand and outside of the rock scheme, but it feels orchestrated in a way that it just gives it a lot of power. Love Smile Please is such a weird single. I definitely wouldn't expect this for a single track, but for more than a surprise on the album. But it was a nice, pleasant surprise to hear it. It was definitely one of the ones that really got my interest on what this new album was going to be and what it sounded like, and it works great. And if I thought the first half of the album wasn't great enough, I think the second half has got some really good stuff too. Disappointed Love has a very the special sort of vibe to it. You can hear the instrumentation on this one, and it just sounds like the beat to Ghost Town, and I find that really strange. It definitely has this Ghost Town sort of beat, but then it builds up with some hard rock elements, and it's fantastic. It's another catchy banger as well, and this definitely is one of my favourite tracks from Skindred in such a long time. It's a really good one. Black Stars as well is just fantastic. It's kind of got this little click beat that reminds me of Unstoppable by Sia, but it goes a far different direction than that, which I'm more appreciative, because that could have been my first concern of the record. But I like Black Stars. This one is great, punchy chorus, amazing fun all the way through, and it just swings in with some of the best ideas. I like Black Stars, and I also like the little bit of screams we're getting here and there on this record. We're not getting anything crazy. It's not like we're going into Babylon with some more raw, some more new metal elements. We're kind of seeing Skindred's evolution since then, and it's a lot tamer, but they've got some power that they still want to pack. And Black Star's bridge is pretty good for showing that. State of the Union, probably one of my least favourites, but this one is still a nice vibe. It's the shortest track, so it's not like it's dragging on for too long, but State of the Union to me is still a really good song, and I think although it might be one of my least favourites, I like this one quite a lot. It's a lot of fun, and I think it holds up nicely compared to what I would consider two of the most fun songs. I'd say Black Stars is definitely one of the more fun tracks, and so is Addicted. Addicted is great. The instrumentals on this one, the overall vibe on it, it just feels like you're going for something classic and something that feels like it could fit on something like Babylon or even to one of their newer tracks. I like Addicted. Mama is where I think this is where the genre changes are very noticeable at this point. You have literally this whole song that kind of goes through a more reggae sort of sound. There's less metal to it, or at least reggae metal. It's going quite into it. There's got little fanfares, you got little brass instruments that just definitely build this one up. Mama is great. I love this one. It's a fun song. And then we go into Unstoppable, which is my least favourite of the single because I think it's the least unique song on the record, but it's still, I think it still continues that momentum of this energy that Skindred are putting out. Plus, it's one of the ones that feel more staple to Skindred's sound when it comes to some of the heavier stuff. So it definitely feels like this album has a very versatile pattern with so many different elements. And I've noticed this with a lot of Skindred albums from what I've listened to. Volume, which I believe was one of the more lesser appreciated albums, just because of, well, I guess the songwriting is part of it, as well as some of the ideas aren't as insane and crazy. But I think they have a very versatile structure that I like to relate Volume, but I think Smile does it better. There's more elements, there's more genres they play with, and I think the payoff is a lot more rewarding. You're going into each track with probably not expecting what's going to happen, and that's where the surprise gets you. There's a lot of fantastic stuff on this record, and it makes up for what is one of the best records of the year. I don't know if I'm overpraising it, but this is a fantastic album, and I feel comfortable giving it a 4.5 out of 5. It's so good, it's brilliant, and I definitely recommend it. So that is my review on the new Skindred album, Smile. I have been taking a little bit of a break so I could focus on other personal stuff, but I should be back and I should be getting some more reviews out soon because there's some albums I want to talk about. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video. Bye.